Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So the event, the Legendary 2nd anniversary has just finished, and so that means Legend Trials is up and running again. This time we're going up against Entropy. And as you can see here, I have 3 remaining keys. I did manage to get the boss down to 56 billion, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out on video today. And to do that, what I'm going to do is talk about a couple of decks. So this is a main deck that I was actually using to take down the boss, but I wanted to show another deck as I'm taking it down. So this is the Light Human Goblin team that we saw a few events ago. And basically with Wella as the main, one of the main damage dealers, this team works really well in conjunction to both deal, power gem damage as well as nuke damage using Aladdin. And so what I've got for you here is actually a recording, just a very short recording of how this deck works as you build up intensity. So let's take a look here. So you can see here the intensity is at 2700, and I'm using Aladdin to heal, obviously, and I'm also basically waiting 3 turns. So the entire deck here has a 3-turn cooldown, and once it does, I will activate all of my power skills from left to right. And both Gadget and Oglyph, who's the Master Card Collection and the Ultra Rare, they will mirror Wella's hits. So you can see there when I activated Wella, she actually dealt 3 billion damage, but then it got copied twice, and we can see again happening here after I managed to get a battle skill up and running. So you can see as I activate, I go from left to right because I want to make sure that there's power gems on the board, and then Wella will deal a triple damage if there is at least a power gem 2 on the board, and then both Oglyph and Gadget mirrors it, so that 1 turn right there deals about 10 billion damage, and then every time I'm able to match the power gems, I can deal another 1 or 2 billion. So that's how it adds up. Now, if I could be even a little faster and get the intensity even higher, I could deal a lot more damage. But with this team, with this setup right there, I was able to deal about 230 or 240 damage on average. So that was really good. But what I want to do today is actually go through and use this team to take down Entropy. When I started with this team and I was able to deal about 145 billion damage. That's without a clock stopper, and you'll see what I mean by that. But with this particular setup using 1 Amy, 2 Danils, and 2 Astros, it's very viable. So let's go ahead and jump into this match. So let's make sure we switch the team out. And you can see the relics here as well. I have 2 special relics, one from this event and one from the previous event. I do have Alien Spear, and I don't have the Light Claymore, but I do have the I do have the sabers here for additional attack bonus. So let's go ahead and do a battle now. So with this particular boss, there is an Aegis here that will destroy the board every 4 turns. And so it's basically chaos. And it doesn't actually impact anything. It just means that your board will be shuffled, and sometimes that's not actually too bad, because what you will see here is sometimes when you are playing, you run out of gems. When you actually shuffle the board, it can work to your advantage, because as you can see here, my light gems actually got spawned next to each other, whereas earlier I was having a hard time actually getting them close. And now we're at the point where I don't actually have any more light gems, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually activate the battle skills, because I do want to make sure I get a heal. And I was able to also do a quick clock stop, and I'll show you how I did that later, because you do need to make sure that you optimize for the time here. Right now we're trying to get rid of the armor as fast as possible, and so you do want to make sure that wherever you can, try to actually save some time. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to just wait. If I can wait 1 more turn, no, I don't think I can. So I'm going to just go ahead and activate all the skills. I'm going to go across the light gem part, and I'm going to go into the 2nd column from the right, and you notice what I'm doing is I actually match the gems in diagonal, and then I did a quick swap down to stop the clock quickly. So this isn't really that fast, but I'm able to do this in about 10 seconds. Now with this particular deck, what's interesting is the Amy deck and with Danil, it's not really a deck that gets unlimited cap for damage. So instead, what you're getting is a boost every time you can get your board fully converted to rainbow decks. And here we are dealing approximately, that was approximately 12 billion damage or so. And this is at 320 intensity. This particular deck maxes out at its damage once you hit 600 intensity. The reason for that is because Amy, she starts with three columns of rainbow power gems, and then goes up to 7 for every 125 intensity, whereas Danil starts with 2, goes up to maximum of 5 for every 200 intensity. And so with that in mind, 600 intensity is when Danil will actually be spawning power gems at the maximum, and for Amy it's actually at 500. But if you're going to be pairing the two of them together, then really 600 is at the point where you're going to get the maximum output. And so right now we're at 420, and as you can see, every time that I actually do a activate battle skill is when I'm able to revive because I have 2 support cards here. So now we're down to 7 billion, so this is going to be my last attack here. But this is basically sort of how you can play. Now notice that I don't have a clock stopper. And so we're going to be coming up to 460. So we're not going to be able to hit 600, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see maybe what I'll do. I have enough time, so I'm going to drag this out as long as I can without the time running out, and I do believe that I have enough time. And then so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick heal. So this is again the trick that I've shown you to do a heal, where you just take the middle row, do a diagonal swap, and then 1 down. You're not going to deal as much damage, and you'll be able to heal full health. And during this time, you can also continue to increase your intensity. So just a couple more turns, just one last one, and here you go. All right, so we're now at 600, and so let's go ahead and use up all of the battle skills and see what damage we're able to deal in one attack. All right, so here we can do a 4 and a 3. So you can see that the power gems did increase there because I was able to get 3 additional rows. And so with this particular deck right there, I was able to deal about 20. That was 5, 15, 6, about 21 billion damage, right? So the nice thing is this only has a 3-turn cooldown as opposed to like a Halloween deck that has 7-turn cooldown. And so at least I was able to deal enough damage there within 8 attacks to complete. Now let's go ahead and claim this and see what parts we get. So we got 3 Entropy Ice. That's good because I think these are pretty hard to get. And then we got some Entropy Tooth and Entropy Bone. So I only got 3 different items this time. Last time I think I got 4. But I did 3 of the items that are relatively harder to get. And I also get, let's see, some shards and some diamonds. So, all in all, pretty good good haul right there. And now let's see how we're doing with our forge. Now the goal here is to forge a light cudgel, and let's see, so this is the closest one here. I got 3 of the eyes right here, right? And so now I wasn't able to get the sentry, storm and sentry, because I didn't have a good green deck to take it out. So I am missing some pieces for that, but that's okay. When the next event comes around, I'll try again. And so, you can see here I'm still missing 1 for the storm scale because I didn't actually fight that boss, and we haven't had one yet where we're going to be fighting against Quetzal, but that is going to be the next event, which is going to be a fire event. So we can look forward to that. Now, I did mention that there's a couple of other decks I ran, so I want to do is just quickly talk about them and sort of my learning from them. So I already showed you this team. I also showed you a short video of how this deck works out. The last team that I did try was actually this team using Eternal Chronos and 2 Apollo's Aladdin. And this is, Starhaven Acolyte. You can get her as a healer card pretty easily from levels 2-7 or 2-8. You can farm her there. And what she does is she converts light gems into heart gems. If you remember from one of my previous videos, with this type of deck where you basically have a full board of gems, you need to be able to stop the clock. And with this card here, she can convert your light gem to heart gems. So you'll be able to stop the clock pretty easily. And because you can field a full team of light heroes, you'll be able to take the armor down much faster. So with this deck, this is what I tried. I was only able to deal a total of 107 billion damage with this team. Now it could be because my team is, it's not awakened and my relics are kind of underpowered. But I feel like it's because there's no attack boost based on intensity like some of the later Fable decks. So this deck will always max out, cap the damage just like the Amy deck. And so alternatively, I could just take out Acolyte and put in another Apollo. I do have 3 Apollos. I didn't try it because I didn't know how much time I will be taking. Plus, it has a 7-turn cooldown, and so it's a lot longer. But I have heard that it's a it's a team that you can use with great success. So those are the 3 decks I have. I do believe that this Amy deck, it's you do need to have been lucky to get Amy here, and I think with 3 Danils it will work as well. But this is, I think, an ideal base setup, where if you take out another Danil and put in another Astro, or maybe put in Aladdin or another Clock Stopper, you'll have less damage overall. And so I was able to deal 145 billion, and that would be sufficient to finish in 7 or 8 turns. But if you reduce that damage by more, then you may have a slightly harder time. So give it a try and see what you end up with. And so before I sign off here, I just wanted to talk about this mostly, but I just want to do a quick look at some of the packs that have come out that are available. First of all, there is now finally a way for you to collect past relics. But if you take a look at the relics, these are pretty old. So Barbed Spear is the Dark Corrupt one, and Gaia's Thorn, Sunbow. Now, there are a couple that are useful, and of course, if you're looking for some of these, you should definitely take a look and see if this is something that you're looking for. But, some of the ones that I feel you'll want to save for are ones that actually can generate power gems, because those are more useful than some of the older ones that don't do that. If we take a look at the cost, though, you'll see that in order to get the relic, you need to collect these coins. And to do that, you need to go through tiers to tier 6, I believe. And that's 1,000, 24, 49, 89. So you're looking at, about 13,000, 14,000 gems to get to tier 6. You'll get 1 coin there. And then you'll get another one if you go up to tier 7. You're also going to collect anniversary amulets. So if you're short on some and you're really looking for a relic, this is where you can get. Personally, I think that, I like the idea that there's a relic, you can get an older relic here, but it's missing some of the ones I'm really looking for some of the newer relics. I'm hoping they run it again. You can also get some legend packs here for some souls. These souls are guaranteed, and you're only going to get one of the 2, the Julia Starchild or Ronin. So if you're looking for souls here, and also crown shards, this is where you can get them. I think that I have a couple. I'm just going to keep waiting. You also get these souls every light event. So I'm going to patiently wait for that. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because these are some of the things that are new, and you might be interested if you haven't, if you're new to the game. These are the packs are available, but my recommendation is take a look and don't jump right into it because it can be very costly. Like, take a look at the amount of gems in order for the investment. It's just, you're going to get 1 relic with that investment. And so if it's something that will complete your team and you're really looking for it, then go for it. But otherwise, if you're just curious about it, I would recommend waiting on this, because I also don't know what kind of relics you're going to be getting at each of these tiers. They're likely going to be the non-event relics. And so something to keep in mind. Anyways, so that's all for this episode. I wanted to mainly just talk about Legend Trials. In tomorrow's episode, we're going to do a preview. We're going to talk about the cards, and then we will definitely try to build something. I believe it's going to be a light, the Fire God cards. So anyways, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. And again, please leave me any feedback. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.